that was a little bit, what's the word? Raunchy. So veering away, bear left, and continue on. So subconscious activity, we see activity there. Magic is here in your subconscious mind or in your dream realms. Whoever this is about, it doesn't have to mean it's about you. Make sure that your own tools of discernment, detection methods, boundaries, barriers, things like repetition and ritual for protective practice is something that you're exploring. If you're a magician, that may be something you're called to do. I would say make it an absolute, make it a standard, make it a requirement. If you're doing any consciousness exploration and you encounter any sort of entities, please have a guidebook, a map, tools of discernment. Again, I'm going to say it, tools of discernment for what's incoming and what's outgoing. You want to take stock mentally. Build a filter or firewall if you can. It's important. It is. It's really important, especially around this time. Why? And that is because the tarot community has been certainly under observation, investigation, and under attack, some of us. There's a reason for that. And these psychic entities and their technologies are really looking like they're being perpetuated by people that are familiar with the world of magic. I'll say it that way. Ophiuchus is certainly central to this spread, and makes perfect sense to me that would come up in a tarot reading. And I was just reading and writing and just researching about different types of tactics, gaslighting tactics, bait tactics, false reward and punishment systems. Things that, when they're targeting channelers and they're targeting mediums and they're targeting twin flamers, trying to work on their psyches, what do you consent to? What don't you consent to? Can you outline it in a spiritual doctrine? Can you write a decree of sovereignty? Can you put it in your own words? Can you make it even poesy? Can you do it in a way that speaks to you aesthetically? Can you do it in a way that hones and puts to practice your self-mastery and makes it a part of the challenge of having just a vivid psychic life, but especially for channelers and mediums? I'm hearing hone her abilities. I'm hearing us. I'm hearing dialogue. The word dialogue. Let's look at health here. We've got the moon. It's communications. It's the moon. It's also extra dimensions here. Is this card in the Quantum Tarot version 2.0. And it's the number 18. So another nightscape card. We see kind of a nighttime theme within some up. I'm hearing up soar. And then there's like a very subliminal up yours behind it. Warning. I do have some level of censorship here going on, but I want to share the vulgar stuff too, because it's important. The duality in communications, and also characters that represent themselves to be white hats and really are actually more black hats. I'm seeing these entities target the tarot community. And so, of course, communications in the health sector, apparently we're talking about this now, is coming up in the health position. Be careful with communications. Again, have barriers, boundaries put in place, tools of discernment. Make sure that you are coding your communications, what you consent to and don't consent to. Just like if someone came up to you and told you that you're, okay, I can't say that out loud, a filthy so-and-so, I'm hearing. It wasn't so-and-so, but that's how I'm censoring here. Then you wouldn't be like, oh, really? Do you want to be friends on Facebook or something? You would try to really temper that somehow, or you would try to put boundaries in place, personal boundaries, in a physical way, even in your field, in an intellectual way, mentally, psychically. Those of you that are psychic or just attuned to what's going on energetically in the unseen realm of interactivity, then you can feel shifts in communications. You can cut cords with people. That's a great tool to be able to cut cords. Bands of communication form, physical bands between people, and even technology to people. This can also form actual physical bands of communication you can cut. Cutting cords is a great that's just a great tool to have. Remember that in communications, because it's coming up in your health position. Making sure you're having open, clear, communicative dialogue. If it's something that, if you're talking to a doctor, if you're talking to friends, family, loved ones, anyone. Hopefully that this upsurge of energy in the center here is not manifest as anything violent. Please be aware that does need to be channeled into something sexually, spiritually, however you want to do it. But don't let it drive you crazy. And don't let it lead to violence. You have calm waters here in this communications card. We've got some more mirror activity with these entities that are showing up and using gaslighting tactics. What are they doing? They're appealing to your desires. They're appealing to and also mirroring your own belief systems. They're finding out what your belief systems are, and they're mirroring it. Why? Because it almost imitates reciprocity. And that's really what we want in communications. We want reciprocity. And then, of course, we all love anomalies, synchronicities. I see synchronicity as really being something that is an aspect of this moon card. I see synchronicity as something that does come through in lunar energies at times. It can be a card of play. It can be a card of magic. It can be a card of depth also. You may be called to listen to some deep space or deep underwater sounds. That can really get you in a space of depth. Deeper waters. I'm finding superficiality as a problem for communications. If you live in the United States, you might know what I'm talking about. Especially with satellite communications, I'm finding that there is even a bit of superficial waters over public airwaves are pulling healers out of their space, out of their sacred space of healing and depth. Okay, you may want to turn off the TV, step away from the media, and find a place of depth that you can concentrate healing waters, so you can mold it to your reality and carry it with you throughout the day. Our 9-to-5 world is breaking up those waters. I'm hearing of intention. And I really want to tell it to take a back seat and shut up. Yes, it said intention. It said a good thing. It said something that I like. It's appealing to me. It's alluring, right? It's also a communication I don't consent to. And I've told this entity before. I have boundaries in place, barriers. I'm signing off. I'm going to sleep. I'm hearing hi. I'm here. I'm hearing your crazed lunar fix it. I'm hearing Mr. J. I'm hearing. That reminds me of the Jasons. Okay, let's look at health, wealth. I'm hearing. Pulling this card. Wealth, we've got a pregnancy, a new birth. It could be of a job. It could be an idea. I like to think of ideas like that, as the birth of an idea from its seed of inception and going through a process of gestation here, and where you nurture the idea, right? You take care of, you nurture through each stage of perhaps even an operation or a project. This could be, health, wealth. This is something that is in relation to your finances and your wealth. So it's interesting to see the Empress card here. The divine feminine is coming up in your work life. We're seeing pregnancy. So, it makes me think of a little bit of vulnerability, but it also makes me think of really great strength, both. It's the new moon here, the new moon phase, as we see reflected on these calm waters here. Something is at the beginning of a cycle. If you are someone who is taking maternity leave, or you are someone you know is pregnant, congratulations. We see her crown sort of adorned with the stars here. There's magenta and some feminine colors in the background. A little bit of crown chakra violet. A little bit of magenta here and orange. The sacral. The root. And so in your life, in your work life, related to your wealth and finances, you're really having to be like the gardener that's tending to their garden, their estuary, and making sure the soil is tilled, making sure that your seeds are healthy and plantable, so that you can also, by stage of growth of its life, tend to at each stage. So you really can't, it's not something you can just throw some seeds in the ground and go. Scatter them. Sometimes maybe if it's like wildflowers, or something that's easy to grow will grow by itself. But this is something you're having to nurture. Maybe it's something that you're nurturing just because you love it or enjoy it. But it's bringing growth for you in whatever way. It could be coin, physical money. It could be material goods, but it's in your wealth and finances position. So it could just be growing. I'm hearing maturity. That's interesting. Wisdom, growth, wisdom, is something also that could be affecting your wealth. Be wealth of wisdom. I'm thinking of like growing on knowledge base. Actually, is what I'm thinking for some reason. Something that you're having to tend to. You could be farming something. Okay, I'm hearing people. I was thinking more like data. Information. So DNA farming does come to mind. I mean, if you're someone who has a lot of kids, you're farming people. There are other ways of farming people that are not so nice. Farming neuro data is something that's going to be coming up in the future. Hopefully it'll make it to the media. There's some people out there that really need help. There's some people that data trafficking victims and information trafficking victims as new and advanced forms of trafficking. Again, this is coming up the tarot community, who are having psychic downloads from entities that are, I'll say masked at this time. Should we reach an unmasking, we'll be unfolding advanced forms of crimes. We'll be unfolding new types of trafficking of data, information, and labor trafficking. But it looks like your wealth, your finances, something in your wealth, it could be your job that you're is very precious to you, like a newborn baby, and you want to take good care of it, and you want to nurture it, and you want to protect it. And I can see that you have almost like a mother's nurturement about whatever this job or project is for you. It's your baby, and projects are like babies for us sometimes. I fully believe that. I've heard that saying. I like that saying, and I'm going to say it now. I'll say it in the future because it's cool. Projects are like babies, and you are pregnant. So, okay, health, wealth, love. We have the uncertainty principle. The Hanged Man. You could be a little bit iffy about something in your love life. You could be a little bit indecisive. We saw the Three of Swords here earlier. You could be a heartbreaker if that's you. I don't know. Maybe not. Hopefully not. If you could be a heartbreaker, you could be having to decide between partners. It could be a three-way party system here. That could be the decision. You're having to make a decision about something. Decision-making process. Hanging upside down. He's here. He's got enlightenment at his crown, really is what that says to me. He's in a state of reflection, a states of reflection. We see that here, looking forward into your future. You're going to be ruminating on something. Make sure you don't spend too much time in that space. It's something that you've got to spend necessary time reflecting in order to make the best decision that you can, but don't spend too much time there because you could be late. You could be, I'm hearing overdrawn. I'm hearing spiritual max. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. I'm hearing karma. Be careful about the karma machine, you guys. These entities, again, that are coming with communications to people, that are generating anomalies and synchronicities. They like to amass karma in people. That's energy potential. That's fuel. That's energy. That's using humans for their natural energy resources. As a natural energy resource, they're amassing karma in people. That karma can also fuel things. Like narratives or communications, conversations, drama even. We do see a little bit of dramatism in the tarot community with entities again being channeled messages, mediums. Sometimes conflicts arise with different amassed energy in people. It can fuel conflict. It can fuel virtual conflict, actually. But beware the karma machine that wants what from you? Exchangement. And oftentimes, sad to say, but debt. The idea of karmic debt isn't something I'm very fond of, but and I don't believe in that, really. But there are entities that do operate that way, and they do have rules, I don't know about laws, but rules of exchangement in which they want to establish connections with you, to give you something, never for free, always strings attached, because they know, right, that they're going to be able to receive from you also, and so don't forget that. What's being exchanged? Giving and receiving. Okay, love life. Indecision in your love life. Be careful about that. Don't spend too much time hanging in the balance there. And I'm seeing this symbol like hanging out. Oh, hang 10, right? Also is something that I've heard before, which reminds me of like, it's a reference to like frequencies or the waters of communication. Also data, riding the waves of data. Just like surfing. I've surfed data before, in a way. What I'm hearing? I'm not sure that one's gonna make sense to anybody. That's okay. Communications are like that sometimes. You just have to ride your own wave, or high five those who are riding it with you. Say hang loose, bro. That's fine. We have Destiny as the last card here. Page of Pentacles. This is Bootis. Okay, we see more farming references. I think it's Bootis or Bootis, the herdsman. He is known for pulling his plow across the sky, the night sky. We see this constellation here, Bootis the herdsman, and that's a bear up here. Almost looks like a holographic bear. This is a page card, Page of Pentacles, something that's in the learning position. It's your destiny, apparently. As an apprentice, perhaps an apprentice of the universe, holography, and maybe even bioholography could be something that's important to you or your life as a psychic warrior or spiritual. I'm hearing investigator. I'm hearing one, W-O-N. I'm seeing in text as a visual, W-O-N, one. I'm hearing card, I'm hearing draw. I'm hearing her out. They did a good, I'm getting high five we did. I'm hearing sister. I'm hearing never complain about her. I'm hearing she does secret wind. I'm hearing wind, and then I'm getting like roads, and then something's like river, or I'm hearing shark in the water. I'm hearing she warns us. I'm hearing that's my blank. I'm hearing she did it. I'm hearing for us to be cool with. Okay, and then I'm hearing a name. I'm gonna skip it for us to be. Okay, I'm gonna skip that because it could get confusing. Anyway, so you could be an apprentice who also feels very connected to the earth. We see the forest in the background here. So you could be an earther for sure. Someone who is using grounding to the earth. Also, we see grounding come up again and light mechanics come up again. I just want to hold these side by side again. Grounding is going to serve you well around this time. Getting that, harnessing the power of the sun to help your light mechanics, your light body vehicle, maybe your bioholography. And it looks like you have some way of channeling that creatively. Animal spirits and animal totems could be a part of it. You could have the bear as a spirit animal for sure. So strong, a lot of strength, for sure. As a beastly animal. And it looks like it's wandering through the woods with you here. You're farming, you're tilling the land. It looks like you're not just planting a few seeds, but you've got some kind of, I'm hearing production works essay. I'm hearing, please be my, and then I'm getting wife. I'm hearing wife. I'm hearing uh-oh. And then I'm hearing a name again. She's my candy, I'm hearing. Can we drink her for siren? And then I'm hearing vampire. Whoa, I'm hearing. That's a lot in one package there. So, I just unboxed that, whatever that was. Thank you. Okay, so I'm hearing drink of water. Be careful about the waters, guys. Be careful about what's in the waters. I hope that you are tuning up your vehicle, your light body vehicle, and I'm seeing that the charging of your light body that you're doing during the day and practicing with that spiritual and psychic activity is something that you're charging during the day. Charge your battery, charge your backup battery, and then go exploring at night, the nightscape, and really take that consciousness exploration to the next step. Please be careful. Bring your map. Bring your guides. Bring your tools of discernment. Bring your decree of sovereignty. What you consent to, what you don't consent to. Say it in declarative statements. Make it known. Don't make any exceptions for entities that gaslight, for entities that want to confuse you, for entities that want to abuse you. It's not okay. Don't let anything slip through the cracks. Keep it nice and neat, and keep it also, kosher. Nothing. I'm having to censor here. I'm having to censor. So, if you're someone who is going to have that kind of communication in your life, look forward to the extra labor there of having to use censorship. In your communications. How about just don't communicate with those people or entities? If you can, then cut out the extra jibber jabber. Of anyone who's going to lead you astray or try to be vulgar with you. You're a lady or gentleman. You deserve respect. Thank you. Be careful out there, consciousness explorers. And you never have to fear. Really. Good luck. And I will see you next month.